Hi, welcome to Critical Misspell. My name's Adrian.
I'm Juan, and hopefully that didn't deafen too many people this week.
Me talking or the intro?
Bit of both, maybe.
I think we're on top of the intro now, aren't we? We've had no technical issues this
Well,
week.
I don't jinx it. I said that before. This is the first week we've done it where nothing has gone horribly wrong right before we start the stream.
Yeah, but I have had a little bit of bad news though this week.
Go on.
I ordered a biscuit tin because I don't eat a lot of biscuits, but when I do, I can't. So I went on Temu and ordered a biscuit tin.
Oh no, there's your first mistake. Jeez.
Well, so you can just get an idea.
What did you get? Like a cat?
Look, this is the size of it. That's my phone.
Well, it's a good thing you don't eat many biscuits because you can't fit many in there.
But the worst thing is, it's not even sealed to keep biscuits fresh. Oh my God. So it's now in my office, and I'm going to just put a dice in it.
Wow. Was it? I'm guessing it wasn't super expensive.
It was. No. It was. I think it was about £12. But obviously the problem is that you've then got to add up to So it's middle of the range.
Yeah, that's high end for Temu.
Wasn't super cheap. I was quite upset about that. So,
I would be too.
Hi all. We've got loads of people here today, which is really good.
Oh wow. Yeah, I'm seeing the comments fly up there.
Yeah. So welcome. Obviously the giveaway this week is going to be Land of Eem, and it's going to be all 3 books that will be included. So the core book, Beastery, and the amazing campaign setting. Even if you don't like the rules, I think. What do you think of that campaign setting? I know we didn't have a lot of time to get into it properly, but I thought it was bloody amazing.
That was the thing I didn't look at. I did look at it, but it's the thing I spent the least amount of time looking at it. But it was very good.
Yeah. So to get a chance to be in the free draw for the PDF, all you need to do is comment during the hour. Still be here at 9 o'clock when we draw it, and as you can see over this shoulder, for Chris's benefit, we Imperium Maledictum, which we will be doing a giveaway and review of for next week. So that is already in place. How's your week been?
It's been good. It's been busy. I did my first video with a paid sponsor that came out yesterday, and I'm pleased to say, touch wood anyway, it went very well. Yeah. And the comic book cover I did, my first American comic book came out this week as well. So I'm very, very pleased. That was a bucket list job. So very, very pleased about that. So my week's been very good. How about you?
Disappointing on the old biscuit tin.
Well, I mean, that would put a dampener on anything, wouldn't it?
Well, the worst thing is that's actually the highlight of my week. I was like, I'm trying not to buy anything because I've got the expo coming up and I'm going to be spending a lot of money on stock for Shadow Dark stuff and Black Oath Games books and stuff. So obviously I've got to outlay for the books and then see what I can recoup back in and pay for the expo at the end of this month. So
welcome to the world that I live in.
yeah. It's all I can afford is a biscuit tin, and now I've got to go and buy another biscuit tin because that doesn't work for me.
Wow.
So I'm just in the process of writing down stuff, names on here, while I think Juan is going to do the news for us.
I do. I have quite a bit.
You forgot that was coming, didn't you?
I did. I totally forgot about it.
But actually, it's because I finally remembered. So,
all right, then I will go through the news. First up, WotC have announced that they are going to be a digital-first brand. I'm a bit worried this might mean they're going to start messing around a bit more with AI, but I think what it mostly means is that most of their books or their content is going to be on D&D Beyond more than anything else. Which I don't love, but I suppose they've got to make their money back on it somehow.
They kind of hinted at that a while back, though, didn't they?
Yeah, well, they made a proper announcement about it this week. Baldur's Gate 3 is getting a TV adaptation. Do you play much of Baldur's Gate?
My PC doesn't run it, so I know.
Wow.
Because I foolishly bought one without a video card because I know nothing about technology. And it's really slow for processing YouTube videos. So I need to get a decent computer. It takes about an hour to process a 20-minute video.
Geez, stop wasting your money on Temu biscuit
biscuit tins, and
yeah,
and
don't. I've got to say, don't buy your PC on Temu.
Oh, okay. I was going to buy one of those. You can buy I know you can buy a motorbike on there, and then I don't know whether it's going to turn up.
It'll be this big.
Yeah, little tiny mini moto. So
yeah. Well, anyway, Baldur's Gate 3 getting a TV adaptation could be interesting.
As in film, as in full on TV series.
So I think it's going to be like one of those HBO things. It's by the same guy who did The Last of Us, which I haven't watched, so I don't know.
No. People seem to like The Last of Us, I think, TV series. Yeah. I didn't watch it.
No,
I didn't
idea.
Play the computer game, so. Well, I started.
Did you know that there is a console for board games, or there's about to be a console for board games? It's called Board, and they've just announced they're doing a VTT for D&D, and possibly if that's successful, they'll open it up to other things as well. So a console specifically for board games, that seems a bit strange to me. But hey. There you go.
Yeah.
Other news: Pirate Borg have a starter set coming out fairly soon.
They do. I've been looking at whether I need it because it's got a load of meeples in and stuff, hasn't it?
It has, and a map and some ships and things like that. Yeah, so quite interesting there. A couple of big Kickstarters. Numenera Amber Archive is on BackerKit. It's just hit $350,000. It's only been up for about a week, I think, so that's really good.
I'm amazed this is actually getting any love because this is the 3rd edition of Numenera in a very short period of time. Because it's a new edition, isn't it? Technically.
Yeah. I don't know a ton about it. I know from doing the expos, there's a lot of people who like to talk about it.
Yeah.
They're always really surprised that I know nothing about it.
Well, I was just saying off camera, I'm in the process of selling all my Cypher System books because I like playing it, but it's right down at the bottom of the list of anything else that I'd probably play before it. So love the books, love the writing. Yeah. I love the idea of it, but it's not there. Yeah, it's getting a lot of love though, isn't it? For that,
it is. It's very good. I'm quite pleased because I think Charlotte told me that we're on a stand quite close to Monty Cook Games at the expo this year. So
how did you work out where you? I suppose you're just looking down the
I think Charlotte asked if we could be around other RPG related stuff. So they sent us a really blurry picture of what they had planned at that time. So I think I know what's going on.
Yeah, I'm in Hall 4. That's all I know. But
all right,
I'm probably in the new thrown in the corner. 3 editions in 10 years seems okay. Yeah, I have a hard time with that. I think that's a lot of editions.
That is quite a lot, really. Yeah.
Because they just revamped the starter set a year ago.
Did they?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. All right. Another quite interesting kind of crowdfunder, Blades 68 has launched on BackerKit. I'll be honest, that's one. So that's Blades in the Dark, kind of a 1960s kind of spin on it. I'm quite intrigued by that one. I'll be honest with you. I quite like Blades in the Dark. And that's doing well. That's at $174,000 at the minute.
Are you're not tempted to back it?
I think I probably will. I probably will. Probably will back that one. And last little bits of news is Zine Quest continues. As you well know, you're doing a daily video ish. Still sticking with it. Yeah,
still sticking
it's
with
hard going doing one every day.
yeah. I'm up to day 10 recorded so far. And
there's some really good stuff on Zine Quest. I've sort of been dipping in and out and having a look, and some really interesting things. And the other thing is, I didn't realize this until when I was looking for news this morning. It's Orbital Blues month. So if you're familiar with Orbital Blues by Soul Muppet, they have a month where people are producing lots of stuff. They have lots of sales on their things, on their kind of games and things related to Orbital Blues. I have a copy of Orbital Blues, and I'll be honest with you, I thought it was okay until I discovered Mothership, and now I would just play Mothership. But that's just my opinion. They are beautiful books, though. I will say that they've got a real kind of retro 80s, late 70s feel to them. They're really nice. And that's all the news I got for this week.
No, that's good. That's good.
So some deep dives there.
We are. So what are we reviewing this week? Let's pretend I don't know what it is. I'm going to give you a warning at some stage.
You're going to have to, yeah. Oh, look at that monster.
Sadly, we're not giving away this. And as you can see, I still haven't opened it because I've got the PDFs. And until I can convince my physical group to play this, I'm not going to open it because I want to play this physically because I got the ones with all the meeples in and stuff. Wow. But the good news is, if you want to buy this, as we discovered, you can just buy the core rulebook, which is this one. And then you can obviously get the bestiaries and stuff separately. But and as I said in my Discord, if we ever, if or when we get to 1,000 subscribers and we're actually making money on this channel, we will consider physically giving away books. Obviously, depending on which region you're in, because I think actually, if you give them away, they shouldn't actually have any taxes. Realistically, please open it on live. No, I'm not opening it on live. I'm not opening it on live. I am not. But it is a toy set. It is a very, very beautiful set. Oh no, another comment's coming. Okay, so how did you get on with this week's book?
Do you know what? I'm very much of the sort of person that if something gets a lot of hype, I kind of have a default thing that it's probably not going to be for me. So I kind of wasn't sure what I would think about it. Obviously, the cover is fantastic. Another Justin Gerard cover, who did the cover for Oathhammer, which we both loved. But yeah, do you know what? I really liked it. I would say it blew my mind because I was expecting it to be really, really, really for kids. And it can be. But if I was going to sum this up in like a sales pitch, I would say it's kind of like Zelda meets the Muppet Show.
Yeah,
in the way it feels, and it's quite nice.
I think that's fair. What I'll do is I'll start sharing some of the artwork, which I think people are. Yeah, it's very hit and miss. This art style.
You're either gonna love the artwork or you're gonna hate it. I think. I kind of like it because it's very different to everything else out there at the minute. It has its own aesthetic, which does kind of. I think it fits really well into the world that they've built with it. So yeah, and layout wise, I didn't have any problems. I would definitely. Somebody's just said new Muppet Show or classic. I would say definitely classic Muppet Show.
There's a new Muppet Show.
I think there's a Disney Plus thing. I don't know. I've not watched it, but.
I bet Kermit hasn't aged a minute.
Yeah, probably not. Probably not.
Oh.
He's doing well for a sock.
He is.
Yeah. All right. In terms of art and layout, then, I love the art style, and I think it's quite varied. And I did a little bit of research. It's kind of based on a comic book, isn't it?
It is. It's their own comics and stuff.
That's right.
Yeah.
So for me, art and layout is a 5 out of 5. I think it's beautiful.
Do you? Okay.
I do. I really like it.
Oh, I don't want to do this.
Go on, misery guts.
I don't like it.
No.
I don't, because the artwork is designed for a child, so it makes the game feel like it's designed for children. The box clearly says 12 plus. They've got a child version of it coming out that they kickstarted 6 months ago, something like that. But once you get into the rules, it's not a child-friendly, rules-like game. I love once you get into the bestiary, and not many creators do this, and this is why I'm actually sat at a 3. I don't overly like the style of it, but when you get into the bestiary, and every creature has its own page, every creature has its own art. And there's about 109. I lost count over 190. There's about 195, 198, somewhere on that individual creatures in that book with its own art. And I think it's like Marmite. I think people are either going to love it or they're going to hate it. So I am purely sat in the middle because there's a ton of art in there, but it's not my style, if that makes sense. It goes against what the game's kind of showing. So sadly, a 3.
I think that's a fair comment. Yeah, definitely. All right, then, rules and system. What do you think about the rules? I really like the rules. I thought they're quite system. I thought you'd really like it because it uses a D12.
It does use a D12 and advantage, disadvantage, crits on D12s and stuff. So it's a really good, interesting system because it uses the sort of Powered by the Apocalypse system as well. So You roll a d12, you get to add your skill and your attributes to it. You may get advantage or disadvantage, but in essence, you're then adding them together. And if you roll a 1 or a 2, you completely fail. A 3 to 5, you fail with a positive. A 6 to an 8, you succeed, but with a twist. 9 plus is a success. 12 plus is like the ultimate success. You've then got some pluses or minuses you can add to it. The combat system was also incredibly interesting because there's 4 stages to combat. You basically start with parley. So you can't even start fighting. You have to try and sort of talk your way out of it. And all the creatures have these, I can't think what it's called. It's their skill you have to try and beat them. You then have to come up with some game changing way to get out of the combat. You can then run. And if you don't run, you can finally get to combat, which is really interesting because from having a look around and sort of reading some comments, a lot of people are like, it's quite nice to actually have that not automatically go into combat, be able to talk your way out of it, come up with something interesting to get out of it.
Yeah, very much so.
Where it falls down, there's 2 ways it really falls down. Abstract money using usage dice, which is shockingly bad, in all honesty, because also it expects you to keep pools of copper bags and pools of silver bags. So some items cost 2 silver bags. And if you've never used this dice, it basically go from a D12 to a D4. And every time you spend anything or use it, you roll the die. And if it's a 1 or a 2, you then go from your D12 to a D10 and things. So it can last for a long time. I don't like it when it comes to money. I don't mind it, but it's that, some items cost 2 silver. So you've got to roll twice or have 2 silver bags or 1 gold bag. And just like, yeah,
it was a strange choice for something that is kind of aimed at beginners, I thought.
Yeah.
Very much so.
And then the other one is the crafting system, which, I'll
be honest, I kind of skipped over that a little bit.
Did you? Don't get me wrong. I love crafting systems. I've just done a review of Rift Breakers by Black Oath Games, which is coming out later this week. And the problem with this crafting system, and The Witcher's got a really good crafting system, but the Witcher one also is a little bit difficult because this one, it's got like 200-300 different things you can collect to put out to your blueprints. So all I can imagine is just as a player, be like, what we got? Hold on. And
yeah, it's kind of presented. It's table after table after table, and then location of where you find it, and it was a lot. It was a lot.
Yeah, and how you get to, there's a bit where you're going, right, I need to make this leather armor, right? Has anyone got a blue fish's eye from the Swan Lake of the behemoth's backside? And if you haven't got that one item, because there's so many items in there, it's I don't know. I don't know.
I must have missed that location when I was looking at the campaign, saying the behemoth's backside.
Yes, yeah.
Sounds like a nice pub. Yeah,
for a change. But yeah, I like what it's doing. I think it would work really well as a computer game, or if you can app-based it. But I think if you're asking players to write down all these things, then remember what they've got. The good news is it's like really abstract, actually, isn't it? You're crafting the stuff you're carrying, so you can carry 10,000 items, and it doesn't really matter. Here we go. The old Warcraft analogy is coming out. So.
Yeah, I can relate to that.
So someone got some of it. Swan Lake and the behemoth's backside. Tchaikovsky, possibly.
I would echo what you're saying there about the crafting system. It seemed like a really good idea. Maybe seemed a little out of place in this game, if I'm being honest. But for me, I quite like the basic kind of rules and the combat. That all worked really well. But for me, what took me out of it is the way they worded some of the kind of stats and attributes. Like there's one of the stats that are like quest something, and it just took me right out of the immersion of it. They've got some very strange kind of wording systems in there that you really have to look up to see what they actually mean with them.
Yeah, so you got attributes.
For me, there you go. Go on.
It's Vim, Vigor, Knack, Know-How. You're on about quest points, aren't you? Which is the meta currency in the game. But it's things like courage instead of hit points, and you take dread instead of damage, which again, I don't overly mind. But when I rule the world, all role-playing games are going to have to use this same language. It's all going to be hit points. It's all going to be attributes. It's all. Do you know what I mean? Because I don't want to learn new things. I don't want to.
You're such an old man sometimes.
I am.
All right. Well, long story short, I gave the rules and system 3 out of 5.
Did you? Ah, you boo, horrible man. I gave it a 4. I really do like it. The other bit that I thought would be weird, because again, this is going for a very starting game. As a games master, if they roll a 3 and a 3 to 5, where I've got to make them fail but give a positive. Yes, there is some really good examples in the book, but that's going to wear quite thin when you only give 1 of 4 options.
Yeah,
or succeed with a twist. I think that's going to be quite hard to learn. A bit of a learning curve, I think there. Morning, Jeff.
All right, then. Character generation. I really liked it, but I felt it went on too long.
Do you think?
Yeah. I kept going through it thinking, right, I'm done. And then you've got your class, then you've got your folk, which is kind of your species, and then you've got your kind of extra stuff. And then I thought, right, now I'm done. And then, now it's backstory. And it just kept on and on and on.
I'm just going to share this. It's pretty much like a normal character, isn't it?
I guess so. I don't know. I think as I went into it thinking this is going to be super rules light.
Okay.
It kind of isn't at all. Yeah. But
that's what I'm saying. That's why it falls down on the art, because it gives the impression this is a very simple BX type clone using a sort of D12 instead of a D20. But it's not. It's very old school. This is with in brutality as well as modern sort of mechanics. So you're quite down then on the character, are you?
I'm not down. I really liked the kind of character classes. I liked some of them. I particularly like the different species. I like how you can be a gelatinous blob. That's quite exciting.
Should we do that?
Go on then.
So we've got so you've got 6 classes technically. So you've got a bard, which is quite obvious. A dungeoneer, that's very, very generic. It feels generic in essence. A gnome, you can tell it's.
Do you know what? That really surprised me and it really fooled me. It's like, oh right, so there are no species in this. There's a gnome. Okay, that confused me for a little while.
Yeah, and then you get to the what do they call them in this?
The folk.
Folk, that's it.
Yeah.
So we've got the paladin fighter type character. We've got the loyal chum, which they just seem to boost other people. Yeah. And then the rascal, which is your sort of
your
roguey thief. But then you get into these 16 different things, including, like I say, the gelatinous goo that can't speak. So if you pick that, you're not allowed to speak.
That's it. But I just thought this is kind of what I really liked. I really enjoyed how much choice you had and how weird some of them are as well. Like you just be a skeleton.
Yeah. Or a gnome. This is I was really confused. Why can you be a gnome as your class and then gnome as a race? But then you can also be a gnome as a class, but then a goblin. And it just it's got this throwaway line in it. It basically says these are your folk, but you can be whatever you want if you want to ignore it, type thing. It kind of goes, we're old school, but actually, in case the new school people get a little bit annoyed, let's go that way. But there's lots of options in there, and I love
options. The
one thing I really love that you get from your class though is when you first start, you got 2 powers at first level, and then you get to have both, and then when you get a second level, you get to keep one of the first level ones, and then you get both the second level spells. So you get to sort of test out which way you want to go. So it's a nice idea that, so you're never feeling like you've made the wrong choice, because you're getting kind of time to test it out, really. Yeah, you can kind of go whichever way you want. But there's plenty of options there. Lots of choice. Capped out at 10th level. Don't mind that. Kind of used to that. Yeah. So, well, I gave it a 4. I'm with you for the 4. No, see, Jeff, I'm completely with you.
Well, like I said, you're either going to love it or you're going to hate it, and I kind of like it. Yeah, Ryo, he agrees as well. So, we're all in agreement that the art is okay. Maybe.
That's another name there. How's that? Raya
Yeah.
TBH. There you go.
All right, then, setting and theme. This is where it kind of won me over quite a lot.
Yeah.
And I think this is maybe where the artwork kind of did a really good job. Like you said with the bestiary, everything has an illustration. It's very coherent. I think they've got about 4 or 5 different artists working on it all together, and all their styles kind of complement each other's really well. That setting book, though, I'll be honest, I didn't go through that one a lot. I really liked the setting. I thought it was, it very much reminded me of like a Zelda game.
Yeah.
In many ways.
Okay, so I'm just going to show what I mean by the bestiary. Then we'll get into the setting book. We'll say, look, so there's 190 plus creatures in here, and they're all broken down into what are they called? Goons, bosses, and something. I can't remember.
Right.
So yeah, it's all done it tells you what level they can go to. They'll get different bonuses, and this is how often you can parlay when you're trying to talk to them. Sort of bonus to attacks and stuff like that, and dreads the amount of damage, direct hit points they do. So a D6 damage. Oh, this clunch dragon does a D10. But the setting book, which is 439 pages, which is huge, is incredibly well done, really well laid out. And it just takes you through all your different areas, starting zones and stuff. I'd say, I think, like you say, you touched on this. I spent about half an hour sort of going through it, and I looked at this. It was probably about 4 months ago when I first picked this up. But actually, I think it's the back page. Here we go. So six. Go on.
I was going to say you kind of skipped past it, but the maps are beautiful.
Yeah. I'm going to come back to the maps in a second, but 6 regions, 140 locations, plus 450 NPCs, all with illustrations, 40 factions, 500 rumors, 400 plus quests, 70 heroic tides. I think you could easily take this and convert it into anything else. If
100%,
yeah. People talk about Dolmen Wood and stuff as a campaign setting. This looks really, really good. And the good news is you can just buy this, as we discovered. You don't need to buy the whole box set.
Yeah.
Who doesn't want to spend their time in Bogtown? That stinks. I bet they have large biscuit tins in Bogtown.
Massive. Yeah, I mean, as kind of a setting book, I thought it was brilliant, absolutely brilliant. I'm looking forward to actually sitting down and going through it myself. So I really enjoyed the setting.
Yeah, it's one of those that makes me really sad, because I know that I might touch on it, because there's a starting adventure in the core rule book, which it's got to be a plus for you, because you do 100%, like
that is
it's quite important. The theme is quite a bit darker than the artwork sort of looks as well. So it's very much, I say, it's got that Dolmen Wood sort of darkness to it. I'm a 5. It's amazing. I just think I'm never going to play it.
I think, weirdly, of all the games we kind of talk about, with the kind of in-person group that I run, this is probably a game I would have a reasonable chance of actually bringing to the table.
Oh, I agree with you that. I just think, because of the amount of locations you've got, Derek, yes, it's a hex crawl map. I just don't know I'd ever get the most out of it, which is why it's still sealed. Because it's saying, unless my physical group go, this is us for the next year, then it's sad. I think everything we look at is just full of games that I know I'm never going to get the most out of, because I don't get to live to be 300 years old, and I've got to have a job. So
I'll never say never. One of those things might come true.
Yeah. You never know. Reminds me a little too much of Blighttown, and that's giving me PTSD. Where's Blighttown? What's Blighttown from?
No idea.
Now getting ribbed over my biscuit tins. It's my own fault. I shouldn't share my idiotic purchases, should I?
That's a bad one, to be fair. All right, then now the tricky one: value for money. So I'll go with this one. So when I first saw how much that box set cost, I thought, oh my God, yes, there's a lot in here. But I think it's around 105 quid for that box set.
That's not my box set. That's the one just with the books in, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I dread to think how much your box set
That was
is.
about 140, I think,
Ooh.
with the meeples and the map and the DM screen.
But what I did discover is you can buy just the rule book, which has quite a lot in it, to be fair, including an adventure, kind of good rundown of the setting and some of the locations. You can get the book for 45 quid, but you can get a PDF of the book for about 12 quid. Which I actually think, you know, depending on what you're into, if you want the deluxe box set, there's a lot in it. I don't think I would like to own it, but I don't think I could afford to own it because I do think there's a good value for money in there. But like, I like that there are these different options to purchase it. So for value for money for me, based on that, is a 5.
Yeah, I'm going to agree with you because you have got, it's like the core rule book's about 30 quid actually.
Oh, is it? I found it for 45. I didn't look too hard, to be fair.
If I go to our favorite non-sponsored page that has it,
would that be Dungeon Land Hobbies?
It would be. I'll just share this. One day they'll sponsor me, or
one day.
But yeah, if other websites are available, I should probably say something like that for legal reasons. I don't know. So yeah, so if you have a look, so what? Okay, 130 quid ish is what I got. That's the deluxe set. So this is the box set with the normal. But yeah, core rulebook 30 quid.
Wow.
And if you get it from Dungeon Land, they also include the PDF for you as well.
It's very
Other
good
websites are available. Beastry 23 quid. There's so many creatures in there for the Beastry. But this Muckland's 45 quid for the campaign setting. I think it's an absolute steal. See, because the other bit I get is I get the DM screen, these pointless little meeple things, and a big cardboard map and some dice. But the dice do have skulls inside. So,
that's cool.
So you can
I love me some weird dice. That's good.
Yeah, you can consume it how you want. Dungeon Land, what is that? It's a website based up in, I think they're Blackpool, aren't they, in the UK? So
closest place to the Isle of Man. That's why I use them.
And
they're also very good. They are very good.
Yeah, I use them because whenever I order stuff from there, they're just really quick.
Yeah,
it's really else, and you get the PDF copies, which I think is really, really good. So yeah, I'm a 5 on that too.
Okay, right. Final scores then. So I've given it 22 out of 25, and you've given it 21 out of 25.
Ooh.
So in our kind of rundown,
we're gonna have to have some good graphic at some stage.
We are, other than my rubbish post-it note. So Draw Steel, I gave 11.5, and you gave 18. Oathhammer, we both really liked Oathhammer. I gave it 23. You gave it 25.
Did you got a perfect score?
Got a perfect score for you, yeah. Pirate Borg, I gave it 23. You gave it 24. Traveller, I gave it 19. You gave it 17. And now Land of Eem, I gave it 22. You gave it 21.
Yeah.
So, yeah, pretty good. It's right up there, I think. I think it's in third place at the moment.
So Old Scouts has visited Dungeon Land, and and Chris Black keeps doing this. He's like 25 out of 25. I've set the bar now. I really sort of ruined myself. So what was my number 2? So I've got Oathhammer.
You got Oathhammer, and I think your number 2 was Pirate Borg. You gave that 24.
That makes sense. I do love me some Pirate Borg.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, Draw Steel's our lowest so far. We've both given that pretty low scores.
Oh dear.
Yeah.
Oh dear. So nobody minds.
No.
That's a shame.
That's it. But yeah, Land of Eem. No, I like it. I like it a lot.
Highly recommend it.
Yeah.
And everyone is now raving at Dungeon Land and been there. And Agile's here. Hi, Agile. So we've got, here we go. Darkspace. No, we kind of, I don't think you were on, Jeff, when we did Oathhammer. And people are like, you're now saying Oathhammer's better than Shadowdark, because would Shadowdark get 25 out of 25? And I'm like, I'm not sure it would.
That's an interesting point.
So we're never going to review it on this channel. I think that's the safest place to be in.
Maybe we'll review it after the expo this year.
Yeah.
Just so you don't get so much hate while you stood behind your stand.
Yeah. So we want a biscuit tin giveaway on a future stream. We could start reviewing biscuit tins. Right. So I found out Blighttown is from Dark Souls, apparently. So.
Oh right. Yeah.
Which I didn't manage to kill the first creature. One of my sons had it, and he was like, "Come on, Dad, come and play this." And I couldn't even get past the first creature. Wow. It was that bad. So, but then like I said, I've killed about 3 things on Fortnite over about the last 5 years. So.
Another game I've never played.
Yeah. I'm waiting on Massive Pirate Ball Kickstarter. Yeah, I think a fair few people are waiting for that. Fabula Ultima, I didn't do the latest Kickstarter because I've just got into it. And then 13th Age, I think that started to ship, but America only, I think. So, my son's mean for throwing. My sons are mean. do I do my Grand Theft Auto story quickly?
Go on then.
So this was about 10 years ago. So my eldest son would have been about 14, and so we let him play. Like the free roam around Grand Theft Auto because we're cruel parents like that. And so he's like been running over stuff, and I went out the room, and then I can't think what I did, and then Marty came up, the older lad, and he was like talking to me, and I was like, "Where's Chase?" Like our youngest son, who would have been about 6 at the time.
Oh, no.
And I went in, and he was in the strip bar. I was like, "Oh, what sort of parent am I? What sort of parent am I?"
Wow.
Yeah, so obviously we blamed Marty for that. That was clearly not my fault.
Well, so it sounds absolutely like it was his fault. Yeah.
Yeah. I left him
100%
to be responsible.
Yeah.
Right. Are we going to get on to this week's topic?
We should. Yeah. Let's do it.
I cut you over again, didn't I?
I think I just got in that time. I think you just wait till I start talking and then just hit the button. So our talking point this week is, if I remember rightly, are Kickstarters killing in regular kind of publishing for indie RPGs? And I feel like I've got quite a bit to say about this because I have published an indie RPG without the use of Kickstarter.
And I haven't done either, so I'm going to be doing a backseat, and I have a list of questions for you.
Oh no! Go on then.
No,
different, isn't it?
No. I've made some of my own notes in here, but okay. I thought, bearing in mind this is now your sort of area of expertise, it makes sense for me to just sit back and listen to you.
I would say I've made a lot of mistakes. Yeah. That's probably a fair way to say it.
Oh wait, is this just? Are you going to be talking about Quintessence and the Goblins books? Because you did both of those independently.
Yeah, they're both kind of for Quintessence, and it's interesting, kind of with Charlotte's new game on Kickstarter, just seeing how different it is in a way. So, for context, where I live on the Isle of Man, we cannot run Kickstarters over here, and not for any nefarious reasons. Just the payment system Kickstarter uses, called Stripe, is not recognized on the Isle of Man. And it's just because we have such a small population, it's not in Stripe's interest to set it up. So you cannot run a crowdfunding campaign on the Isle of Man. So when we did Quintessence, we fully intended to run a Kickstarter campaign. Unbeknownst to us, we couldn't. And then we very quickly found out we couldn't. So what we ended up doing was we managed to get a lot of pre-orders through trying to get people to talk about our game, trying to play test our game with as many people as possible. And we accidentally kind of fell into a lot of kind of brick and mortar stores were quite supportive because we said we weren't doing a Kickstarter. And for our core rulebook, that was really useful. It was really good. And we got quite a few people on board early on. And then doing the Games Expo and go to Dragon Meet and things like that, that kind of really changed how it was going. So Quintessence paid for itself in its pre-orders, luckily. One of the things I have learned is if you're going to release a role-playing game, don't make your first release a hardback book. One, they're quite expensive to produce, and two, they cost a lot to ship. So that would be my advice. Start with a zine. Everyone told us to start with a zine, and we didn't listen. But yeah, so that's sort of the background of where I'm coming from with this, really.
So how's Charlotte getting on with the Kickstarter? Because I know
well, yeah. So
how's she finding the experience? Because I've got a few things I kind of thought, obviously the difference of going direct in Kickstarter.
I think she's finding it a lot easier. Both of us absolutely hate and are rubbish with social media. Which, if you're releasing anything by yourself, you really have to be on top of the social media. And being on the Kickstarter, being part of Zine Quest, kind of helps with that. You're sort of getting a lot of kind of traffic going that way anyway. Whereas if you're just doing your own thing, you've got to kind of generate it all yourself. But yeah. But I think it is easier in some ways. I think with Kickstarter, you know exactly how many kind of books you're going to have to print, and how much, like if you got a funding thing for however many books, like we always work in multiples of 100. Like our print runs are crazy low. So we project all of our costs around 100. So anything more than that, like Quintessence has been through about 4 or 5 print runs now, so it's been doing quite well, so yeah. But yeah, Kickstarter is a bit different, but it's good, I think,
because there's a lot of, the way I've looked at it, there's quite a lot of similarities between whether you do a Kickstarter or you go direct, because I guess art, layout, printing slightly separate, and shipping is done excellently, but you've got to do a lot of the groundwork initially, because if you go to Kickstarter and you haven't got a mostly finished project, I think you don't get a lot of traction. I'm finding this on some of the Zine Quest ones that I'm doing. The videos where I've got like a preview seem to do an awful lot better, and you can look at the sales as well, but also like who the person is makes a difference. So it's like Bob Willbuilders landed on Zine Quest yesterday. He sent me a copy of it, so I've got to do my review at some of the next 2 or 3 days. It will go out, and he's already on sort of like 15,000-17,000 because he's Bob Willbuilder.
Wow. Well, of course, yeah.
That's in where everyone else is like 2,000 or 3,000 out there. But he's got most of it ready, and like I say, from a media point of view, obviously he's got 250,000 subscribers.
That's it. He's got a built-in audience already.
Yeah. But I think looking at Kickstarter stuff, that's probably going to feel a little bit more like a bit of a job doing it, because they're like running the socials, running the comments, because if you don't run comments, you don't get any feedback. But the other thing I've noticed with Kickstarter, if Kickstarter doesn't like you, you're going to be buried down the bottom of Kickstarter that no one can find the project.
Yes, that's true. That's very true. Yeah.
And I don't know whether that's a financial thing where you pay Kickstarter to advertise up or what. I don't know.
I think to have a really like big successful Kickstarter, like Bob the World Builder, he's got kind of his built-in audience already, and he's talked about this upcoming thing for quite some time, so people know that it's coming. But if you're a complete new person, the way the model is kind of set up is Kickstarter works best if you're bringing traffic to them.
Yeah.
I mean, yes, they have their kind of streams that come through, but Kickstarter will like you if you bring traffic to them. And unfortunately, the way social media works is they want you to pay for that advertising, which sucks. And it can be very expensive as well. And it can be hit and miss how much it yields too, so you do have to be careful with it.
So the thing, because Kickstarter used to be, I think I'm on something like 300 odd projects that I backed since Kickstarter existed. And it always used to be when I first started doing it, I was backing a load of board games. And these were board games that were never going to get made, role-playing stuff that was never going to get made, and people were crowdfunding the money to then go and make the project. I've been burnt twice.
Yeah.
That's it. That's quite good, I think, over the years it's existed. But the thing that kind of irks me a little bit, and I don't know how you feel about this or anyone in the comments, is we're now seeing large companies using Kickstarter to crowdfund additional, and I kind of don't overly like that. I'm gonna stick to board games more than role playing, because then I'm not calling out a company that may or may not send me stuff to review.
Well, you're quite right. I mean, look at Monty Cook Games. They've just done their new version of Numenera. They're crowdfunding it, So, and I would say they would be. They're obviously not the biggest name in role playing, but they're right up there, and they've been around a long time.
Yeah, and I kind of think, because the worry is when you use companies. There's quite a famous one, which is Cool Mini or Not, or Simon, as they became, and they were basically crowdfunding their next project to pay for the project they still hadn't shipped.
Ooh, yeah,
and this was millions of pounds, millions of dollars worth of stuff that was moving. Then obviously all the tariff issues sort of took place, which is the other big problem I think that you get off crowdfunding. Is you've got so many external factors outside of your hands.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, I've been an artist on quite a lot of Kickstarter things. Well, I'm trying to think, four or five, I think, and I haven't really had much to do with the whole system itself.
Yeah, I think this is a good point.
Yeah,
Free League, they always have their special editions, or it's like they'll include something extra that you can get by, because they do use it as a pre-order system, but you can get better.
I think that's the issue, isn't it? It's like its original purpose was to get something that wouldn't get made anyway out into the world. But it's become kind of the normal business model for releasing products now for a lot of companies, certainly.
Yeah. If Man 1, Kickstarter's discovery system isn't great. They need something. They do. It's got better. You can actually now source, and you couldn't do this for a while. You can actually source new projects per day, which does help, but it does mean going on, because I'm doing it on Zine Quest, if that makes sense. I've got, I think I had about 10 projects. And then I was like, I've got to find another load of projects. But when I think there was 63 projects, and it's over 100 now on there. So it is getting easier.
I think if I was gonna do another project, and I didn't have, I mean, I wouldn't say I have a massive YouTube audience, but I feel like when I release a zine now, it sells pretty well. But if I didn't have that, and I was going to release a new kind of RPG or whatever, I probably would use Kickstarter or something like it if I could, because doing it all yourself, yes, Kickstarter. The other thing is Kickstarter takes a very small percentage of your overall kind of take. I can't remember how much it is. I think it's like 6% or something like that.
Yeah, it's 5 or 6, isn't it?
Yeah, it's not particularly high, but on big projects that adds up, and you kind of have to take it into account. And there are so many, once people have kind of backed that, I know a few Kickstarters are a bit nefarious and they haven't delivered. I think I've been burnt on at least one of them. You're kind of beholden to getting that done, which is a good thing. But if you're doing it all yourself, and you've got your product, and you're kind of getting it out there, you're working in such small numbers that it's much easier to get it going in a way.
Yeah. So I'm just trying to look at where's it gone? Sorry, because new comments keep jumping in. So I think that makes sense. So see, you can self-aware your own stuff because of the amount of subscribers you've got coming in. But yeah, I'm kind of bigger companies. I prefer to get through flags. I'm with you. I do have a kind of annoys me when you see large companies, because we've all got a finite amount of money to spend. And I kind of go to Kickstarter in the same way that I go to TTRPG. I'd rather support smaller publishers off both of those. And, you can go, the Arcane Library, small publisher. Technically, they are.
They're a really successful small publisher.
They're the model everyone should aim for.
Oh, yes. Yes.
But yeah, I still... So when you do see some of the large companies like your Monty Cooks and stuff, and people, they all see the same, they're using Wabaka kit. I do kind of think this is a space that you should just. It's like Cubicle 7 now. They will occasionally use Kickstarter, but they tend to do it in a very different way now. They will basically release the PDF 6 to 8 months before the physical copy is ready.
The physical one comes much later.
Yeah. But they also get us to proofread it as well. Because they'll here's the PDF, and they'll go, and you'll have them arrive, and they won't have the page numbers in, as in the links to the different sections. And there's part of that kind of, I like the fact you get it early, but there's another part of me goes, that's kind of annoying. We're not here to be unpaid proofreaders, if that makes sense. But then saying that, if you are going to proofread and pay a proofreader, the amount of things that you pay a proofreader for that is still appalling that the proofreader misses, why not actually throw it out to your paying audience to go and spot it?
Maybe they're not paying a proofreader.
Well, they're always listed in the book.
Okay.
It's probably like the boss's wife, and it's a tax. No, let's not.
Oh, Cubicle 7 is sending you nothing from now on.
Nothing from now on. I love Cubicle 7. I've got all their books now. They're all moved up here. So
excellent.
But no, I like that system. I do like the soft launch that Cubicle 7 do. I think the only thing I've ever seen them crowdfund was The Laundry, which was a strange one. Really good book. But it's the fact that it did go through Kickstarter, which was. But I guess that
possibly they weren't sure on the market or what it would worth.
Yeah.
So if you're going to be, I imagine they do ridiculous, pretty large print runs of anything because I would imagine it's cheaper per unit to do it that way. So if they've got a finite number of people and they know there's interest, then I kind of get it in that regard.
Yeah. This is quite sad. There's been a lot of people burnt here recently.
Oh, wow.
Grimwild. And there's a second Kickstarter that he did as well. There was a cowboy setting, so it was very sort of Firefly, and he's just stopped responding. And Kickstarter have just closed the project down now, which is sad. Svylander, the new edition, is also delayed. So that should have been out, I think, about 2 or 3 months ago. But I'm kind of used to delays. Actually, there's one point I wrote here. I wrote several points. The difference between Kickstarter and Direct. So when you do a Kickstarter, everyone is fully aware of the delays. When you're selling Direct, no one really knows because you haven't actually normally announced. Or you may have a quarter, like Cubicle 7 will announce a quarter that it's coming out in. They don't actually. So you don't.
I would say if you're. Sorry, go on.
No, go on.
I was going to say, if you're doing Direct, typically, and I know this isn't the same for everyone, but typically you would either have the whole book done or the whole game done or very close to it. Whereas Kickstarter, you don't have to have anything done. You just have to have an idea, ideally a couple of artworks, and if you want to do well, a video. Yeah. You don't actually have to have any part of the product done. That's the thing. So I think Kickstarter has been established long enough now that people accept that's how that kind of model works. Whereas if you're buying something from somebody direct, and I think this is where there's less understanding going. I mean, I get it with my zines. Like I had a 2-week printing error thing, and I was getting emails off people saying, "Where's my zine?" It's like, all right, it's been 2 weeks. Calm down.
Didn't you send a video of you going, I've got your money?
Yeah, all £7 of it.
Woo. Yeah. That'll make you popular.
Yeah, but it's just it. I mean, like I said, I don't want to say Kickstarter has got built-in disappointment, whereas direct sales don't. But yeah, I think people just accept it.
Yeah. This so just answering Derek Ross's, he was asking about fees and charges in the UK. Yeah, we get stung really heavily. However, the latest, and I can't confirm this as fact as yet, but the latest books from the Arcane Library are going to be shipped centrally into the UK. So when I get mine for the expo, I shouldn't have to pay all the ridiculous fees because they'll already be in the UK. So I'm waiting to find out, does that mean the latest Kickstarter will be shipped from within the UK? which will mean we'll miss out all the tariffs or not. So I'm trying to establish that.
Oh, right. Do you know if they're going through a distributor or a fulfillment place? Or...
They're going to have a central UK distributor. That's the plan.
Okay, that's good. Definitely.
Yeah, which makes it a lot cheaper for everyone then.
100%. Yeah.
A lot of people are saying a few comments about Cubicle 7 being the same, about they need better proofreaders. We need to be better proofreaders for Cubicle 7, I think. Alex is really good on this. So when Black Oath Games goes to Kickstarter, his books are almost pretty much finished.
That's good.
So that they come quite quickly. Sometimes a bit lower, but yeah, he always does print on demand at cost, which is cool. But if you want the offset printing, you can order them from his website, which is annoying.
That's a good way to do it, yeah.
Yeah, because I want the Choir of Flesh limited edition, and it's €100. And it's all leather bound, and it's really nice. He's got 5 copies left, and I'm like, I need all my money for the expo and another biscuit tin because I've wasted 16 whatever pound on my biscuit tin. So yeah. Yeah, it's the fees and charges, isn't it? I'm still waiting for so many Kickstarters. I pretty much now PDF exclusive now on Kickstarters.
Wow.
Just because I can't cope with that. There was this, the Night Train for Deadlands cost me, I want to say $50. Cost me £60. In taxes and shipping to get into the country, and I almost went keep the fucking thing.
Jeez,
because they charge for it up front. So it was done on, I think it was done on backer kit, so that they charge and then they write to you and they go, right, this is how much your shipping's going to be if you still want it. And I was so tempted to just go, no, I don't. I actually don't want this now.
I've got a good question for you. Aside from things that just don't kind of materialize or get finished or you know, just don't happen, what's the longest you've ever waited on a Kickstarter? Because I've got an absolute belter and I'm curious if yours will be longer than mine.
I think I'm probably 2 years, maybe 3. Wow. Something like that.
All right, mine's 9 years.
Wow.
Yeah, I funded a documentary film called The Dreams in Gary's Basement, all about the early years of Gary Gygax.
Yeah.
And I funded that, I think it was 2015, maybe 2016, and it came out in 2024, and it was rubbish.
Was it? It wasn't worth it.
I was so, well. If you're really into like the history of D&D and war games, I mean, I'm quite interested in the history of the hobby, but maybe not war games so much. Oh my god, the disappointment! I didn't fund it for a lot, but like, yeah, about 9 years I waited for that.
And here's the scary thing, because I'm into my finance and nerdy stuff. The value of money over time, over those 9 years, that actually cost you considerably more than you actually spent because of inflation. and the money you could have had on the interest in the bank.
I love talking to you. You always make me feel better about bad decisions.
Sorry. Day job kicks in occasionally. £25 on Dark Space. So how much did it cost? But this is the thing: international shipping is just not cheap, is it?
No, and it's just gone up as well. Went up on the 1st of February.
Yeah, I'm just having a look. 271 projects I've backed on Kickstarter.
Wow.
So hopefully I'm not sharing my screen because I'm just showing passwords and stuff. Oh, it's nearly 9 o'clock, isn't it? We got a draw.
Very nearly, yeah.
Yeah. Right, give you a couple of minutes just to get your last comment in. Adrian says Adrian, you spent £16 on a biscuit tin. It's free if you want it. It's no good for biscuits. As Gary Strang said in Men Behaving Badly, when there's always biscuits in the tin, where's the fun in biscuits?
What?
It was in relationship to having sex with Dorothy.
Oh my god!
It's just one of those sayings that kind of
because completely out of context, that makes no sense whatsoever.
Doesn't make any sense, does it? Right. Let me just scroll through, see if I've missed anyone for comments. No. Okay, so we've got 22. Go on.
It is a good giveaway this week. It's really good. You know, really good giveaway.
It's millions of pounds worth of stuff as well. Millions.
Millions.
So I've got. I think I'm back to the window, the one that you like now.
Hey, I can see that one. That's good.
Are you happy with this one now?
I am. This is no longer the wheel of despair. It's the wheel of joy.
Let's just randomly shuffle it. Let's just shuffle the numbers up again. Good luck, everybody.
Oh, it makes a good noise.
It does. Where's that?
Oh, number 14.
22 is going to be annoyed. That is If Man 1. That has just won that. Let me.
Well done. Congratulations.
So if you're still here, just sort of
oh, he is. He's just come.
He's still here?
Pick me.
Okay, good.
Yeah,
we did.
There you go.
We did.
There you go.
We did.
Well, fate picked you. We didn't pick you.
We didn't pick you. I should just share my wonderfully interesting Excel spreadsheet so you can just see where you are. There you go. So just that I don't make these things up. Well done. Are you in my Discord? Because I know you all have strange names and stuff. So if you can come over to Discord, we will send you rigged. Yeah, 7% it's rigged. So
it used to be rigged because all his patrons used to win the way we used to do it on the old review channel.
We did, and
but we've unrigged it now.
Changing my name to If Man 14. Yes, you should. You've won a biscuit tin as well. Biscuit tin. Fucking biscuit tin. Fucking Temu.
That'd be a lesson to everybody. Don't buy biscuit tins on Temu.
Yeah. I know. So next week we will be doing the fantastic Imperium Maledictum. Slight giveaway there.
And our talking point next week is: should AI tools be welcomed at the table? So that's a good one.
It won't be a long conversation, that one.
Yeah, I think we're both on the same page with that.
We are.
But yeah.
Oh,
Chris is happy.
Chris is happy. It's all because of Chris.
Happy. Yeah,
it's all because of Chris. And then the week after that, we'll be back to something. I've been actually having a look at Nimble. We were on about this just off camera. And I don't know whether I need another D20 sort of clone in my game, but it's. So Dungeon Land have all 3 books for £60 plus the PDFs.
That's a good deal.
Yeah. But I don't know.
You're right though. Like I'm at the point now where a D20 game, it just puts me off a little bit, if I'm being honest. Like you said, I've got the D20 games that I like. Do I need another?
Yeah. A D12 game on the other hand. Land of Eem, really good. Oathhammer. Really good.
I am excited to start playing that with your group. We've already started scheming.
I know. Well, Rob sent me that thing going, well, if we both play the wrong character with the wrong equipment, I was going, so when the first combat happens, what are you going to do? He was like, oh, yeah. So
I think we've ironed that out now. So it'll be interesting now.
Yeah, he did say that. So,
yeah.
So everyone, thank you for all your comments and things. Obviously, share this. We're trying to grow the channel as fast as we can, and because obviously we say we'd like to be able to sort of get around physical books as well. I don't know how feasible it is, but we live in the dream here.
Yeah, I mean, we'd be able to consider it then. Right now, we can't consider it.
No. Hence the reason why it's PDF giveaways, to be honest. But thank you everyone for all the comments. Juan, thanks for your time again and for joining me.
My pleasure.
Allow me to talk over the top of you with your videos that
well, he's just like playing the music over me, don't you?
I do.
I was just waiting for it then.
So yeah, back next week with AI tools and we're going to do Cypher. Should we do Cypher System instead?
Oh, maybe.
Yeah,
Chris
wouldn't mind.
Yeah,
he's fine. I don't think Chris would mind. I think we've got to do this at some. We've got to get into Savage Worlds at some stage.
Do you know? I'd like to take a look at Savage Worlds.
So definitely. I was thinking about it today. I don't know how we do it because whether you go Savage Worlds Core, whether you go Deadlands, whether you go Pathfinder, the first stuff. But yeah, we'll discuss that off camera. So we got sidetracked again. Yeah, we'll definitely back Imperium Maledictum and AI tools next Wednesday. Thank you, everybody. And all right, we'll see you soon.
Take it easy.
Bye.